Hello again. I'm Jay Andrews with Laguna Tools, and welcome to our section here on our Platinum Series sanding machines here. Today we're going to show three different sanders off. We've got, of course, our oscillating edge sanding machine. We're going to have a look at our 12-inch disc sander and our 20-inch heavy-duty disc sander machine. Let's start off over here at the oscillating edge sander. This is part of our Platinum Series of machines, and you'll notice that this machine here offers a nice, substantial cast iron table to support your workpieces. And whether you're sanding the edge of a door, or whether you're doing some radius work for some curved arch moldings, or any type of sanding, this is going to make your sanding work a breeze. Now, nobody likes to sand, and we try to take some of the tediousness out of it by offering you a good heavy-duty machine. Now, this offers you a nice wide belt. It offers you about a 3/4 inch oscillation on the belt, so you're not working in just in one area. And the entire head mechanism is able to be tilted for doing tilt work or bevel work on the edge, as well as the table height is adjustable so that you can work across the entire face of the workpiece. Now, of course, we're going to take a look at a few of the features on this sander. First off, you'll notice right here there's a nice large 3 horsepower motor, and this provides plenty of power for sanding on the entire work surface here. There's a lot of surface area on this belt, and it requires a lot of horsepower. This is a 220 volt motor, single phase operation. The other thing you'll notice right here is a dust collection port. Now, this is a 4-inch dust collection port, and Laguna Tools recommends using an adequate dust collector anytime you're using a sander because of the fine grained dust that comes off of the workpieces. And you can generate a lot of dust pretty quick. Now, today we're sanding with this off so that we don't have the noise in the room here, but you'll see that it hooks right here, and this provides great dust collection for this machinery. The other thing you'll notice is that it has a nice cast iron tabletop to provide good support for every kind of workpiece you can imagine up here, whether it's a full-size entry door, cabinet doors, or lightweight sanding. Down beneath this here, you're going to have a look at the cabinet. Now, the cabinet is fantastic. It's a great anchor for the machine, but also you can store your sanding belts inside or other different types of tools inside the cabinet. Of course, that locks and latches right there. Here's your safety switch right here, and it has a removable insert so that you can keep the sander safe, and if you have children around the shop, this can be removed to lock the machine. Now, this is a tilting head machine that lets you sand on an angle, and to tilt the head, there's a lock handle on the inside. You'll loosen that, and you'll see just how easy the tilting head mechanism works. Once I have it the angle that I like, I lock that down and I'm ready to sand. Now, of course, the bed assembly will raise and lower as well, and that's done with 2 lock handles right here, and the entire assembly can raise and lower to allow you to sand across the entire face of the belt. And that simply locks in on this side, locked in on this side, and you're ready to sand. Now, of course, on the oscillating edge sander here, you want to make sure that your workpiece is anchored firmly. As you go up against the belt, it's going to want to drive your workpiece in this direction. So this miter gauge is a little bit different than most. When you position it in the position that you like, and again, there's a flip stop right here, so you can go at 90 degrees and at 45 degrees as well. When the handle is locked, it locks the miter gauge so that you can actually use it to support the workpiece. In addition to the miter gauge, there is a stop here at the end, or a fence, and this is a cast iron fence that locks into the frame of the machine so that as you're sanding a workpiece, it's not going to get driven back into the guards. Now, you'll notice that this miter slot is a T-slot, and it runs the entire length, and you can put jigs and fixtures on the inside here as well to do any type of sanding and any type of joinery work you want to do on the sander. On the end, there's a secondary table, and this cast iron table is designed to allow you to sand on the radius. So if you're doing curved work, you can bring your workpiece up on the end here and create a curve in a piece of wood, or sand an arch molding, or any type of detail work that you need curved sanding on. And of course, this is an oscillating belt, and the table height is adjustable so you can work on the entire height of the belt. Now, the belt tension on this is provided by a spring on the inside, which optimizes the pressure on the sanding belt. When you get ready to change the belt, you simply unlock the handle to release that belt tension, and you can see that the belt is free. And when you've got the new belt positioned in the correct spot, that handle is released. It puts the correct spring tension back on the belt. Now, there is an adjustment right here on the end that can actually keep the belt centered. If you find that it's coming too far off the top or too far off the bottom, that can be adjusted right here on the end. And that about covers it for our oscillating edge sander. It's a pretty simple machine, but it can save you a ton of time and effort in your shop. Again, sanding is one of those things that can take a long time, or it can be made very easy by using a machine such as this. Now, let's move over to the disc sanders. This is our 12-inch benchtop disc sander, and you can see it fits nicely at the top of the workbench right here, And it's great because it's got leveling feet that help to reduce the vibration and make sure that it's stable on the bench as you're sanding. This is a 12-inch disc. It uses a sticky back disc, and you'll see that this machine is nicely balanced. This has got a 3/4 horsepower motor, so you have plenty of power for the toughest of sanding jobs. The table on it is cast iron, and it features a miter gauge that comes with the machine. You'll also notice that the table will tilt 45 degrees to allow you to sand a wide variety of projects and have the results that you desire. And that locks down on both sides. And again, with 3/4 horsepower, you have plenty of power. This is a 110 volt machine, so you can plug it into the standard wall socket or outlet. And you'll hear that even for a sander, it's fairly quiet. Listen to that. It's a nice quiet machine. It runs fantastic, and it's very, very smooth. And you'll see how well balanced this motor is. This thing just spins down. Now there is a brake on the back if you want to slow the wheel down. You simply compress on that, stop the wheel right away, and it makes it easy to change to the next grit disc. This machine also features a dust collection port on the side here. It comes standard with the hose and with the bag for dust collection. You can also hook that up to a centralized dust collection system in your shop. This is a great tool. It's easy to be stored underneath the bench, or you can store it in a cabinet in your shop, and you can bring it out anytime you need it or put it away. Let's move over to the stationary disc sander. This is a 20-inch disc sander, and you notice that this disc is a very, very large and aluminum disc. It's very heavy. It's about 1/2 inch thick milled aluminum, and it's precision balanced. And again, with just a couple of turns of the finger, you'll see that this thing wants to spin and spin and spin. It's a precision machine. It's very well balanced, and there's a lot of mass and momentum with this disc. So this is more of an industrial style machine. Again, we have a cast iron tabletop on this one. This runs a standard miter slot on it, which is a 3/4 by 3/8 miter slot. And you can see that that disc is still spinning. That disc is locked onto the shaft of the motor. The motor on this one is a 2 horsepower motor, so you have a little more power to drive it through the workpiece. This is a 3-phase machine, so you want to make sure that you have adequate 3-phase power available. This is also a reversing motor, so you can sand in one direction or the other. Now you'll notice that the table height is set up right here in the middle of the disc, just like the smaller sander does. But let me show you something else here. This disc is pretty large, and you want to make sure that you have the ability to use the entire work surface. So you'll notice that this table tilts as well. This will tilt 45 degrees in the positive range. It will also tilt 30 degrees toward the disc as well. So whether you're sanding something on the positive or the negative, it gives you the ability to sand in either direction. The other thing is that the table mechanism can be raised and lowered so that you can expose the entire disc surface. And this is done on a rack and pinion. And you can see right here that as I lower this, it exposes more and more of the disc. This gives you plenty of area so you can sand all the way across the entire face of the disc and sand a number of different projects. Now this has an actual dust shield on it, and this is able to be tipped back so that if you're changing the disc, you have full access to the disc. Now you'll notice that this thing is still spinning. This thing is very, very well balanced. It's a very heavy duty machine. The base on it is cast. You have a cast iron table. You've got a lower guard that is a dust collection guard. You've got rack and pinion for the raise and lower, rack and pinion for the table tilt. And again, it's a beautiful machine, and it's designed to make sanding any type of project in your shop a dream. Well, thanks for coming in and having a look at our sanders. Again, these 3 sanders here will make your sanding task much, much easier. Laguna Tools is also proud to offer a 1632 drum sander that we'll be covering in a special segment here following this video. Now let's have a look at this machine in operation here. Thanks for visiting us, and oh, by the way, if you'd like some more information on this machine or any of our machines, give us a call toll free at 800-234-1976 or visit our website at www.lagunatools.com. Let's have a look and see what you can do here.